Well, hello and welcome to another episode of The Elegant Life. My name is Erin Kurt and I am a spiritual life coach who assists women in living a true elegant life. A life that feels whole, fulfilling, purposeful, and where they are able to manifest a life that just feels exquisite to them. So if that interests you, stick around because today it's tea time with Erin again. It has been a little while since we've had one of these, but it has become much requested. So I am listening to you. And what I want to say, if you have any questions for me that you would love to be answered on a tea time with Erin, please, either, some people would like to ask me more private questions. Simply write to erin@theelegantlife.com and I will receive those personally, or just leave them down below if they're not so personal. This is my favorite thing to do, so please go ahead and submit them. So let's get into some of the first ones. I wrote some down on a piece of paper here and I'll get to as many as I can without making this video go too long, okay? So one of the first questions is, by the way, what am I drinking? I'm drinking lemon balm tea and I'm so in love with this French cup. I've got my lipstick stain here, but isn't that gorgeous? It's such a pleasure and a treat to do that. So I'll take a sip and then I'll get started. All right, first question. Can you explain why rituals are important for manifesting, or are they even important? What a good question. So rituals can really assist you very much in manifesting. And why do I say this? Remember how you actually manifest things. The only way you manifest something is if you have a very clear vision of what it is you want to manifest, okay? Because you have to send that vibration, that vision out into the universe. So that's step number one. And then second of all, your only job is to make sure you can become a vibrational match to it. So how do you do that? Well, there are certain rituals that you do to get yourself aligned into that pure potential energy that isn't filled with a bunch of baggage, and where your point of attraction is just on what you desire and everything that is of a high vibration. So you're avoiding during your day, of focusing on negative things. If you listen to the news, you watch the news a lot of it is bad, negative news. Your point of attraction is not going to be good. So if it's your ritual to turn the radio on or the TV on every single morning, and that's going to be your point of attraction, well, I'm telling you, you're going to still be manifesting, but you're going to be manifesting things you don't want in your life. So if you create elegant rituals, which is what I talk about, then they are going to support you in getting to that vibration, being that vibration, resonating that vibration, and then whatever you have out there very easily can come to you. If you are engaging in rituals that are going to align you every day, they are very important and they will get you where you want to go a heck of a lot faster, okay? All right, that was a short, clear answer. I hope that answers your question. If you have any more, let me know. Next question. I am slowly decluttering and my husband says it's all on me, or it's all me. How can I manage to rise? So I guess my question is, are you managing to rise to just do all the decluttering yourself, or is it managing to rise to not get upset with your husband for putting it all on you? I don't know. So I'm going to tune in and see. Okay. So the question comes right now, do you desire to have a different environment? Forget about your husband. Do you desire it? Okay. Now, if there are areas that are really upsetting you, then I want you to start there first. Forget about your husband. Think about what your prime desires are. You know that your environment helps you or hinders you into manifesting what you want, because stuff has energy, and if it's a lot of old stuff, it's going to be carrying old energy. And if you're wanting to manifest, that's newness, that's joyful things, that's not old baggage. So just go with it being your desire and forget about what your husband is saying right now. Okay, now this kind of goes with another question, so I'm going to tie these two questions in together. Another question said, is there an energy technique for when clutter is just too overwhelming to face? So if your whole entire house feels like one big clutter mess and it just feels like, you just feel like you're suffocating, what I want you to do to get through these things is to create a joyful, pleasurable experience around you clearing that space. And I'm telling you, it can be a drawer. For me, in my desk, it wasn't the drawer, it was the two side cupboards of my desk. It bugged me so much. It was not resonating with me, but I left it for about a year. And just about maybe 3 weeks ago, I just said, you know what? Let me get into a desire of what I want. My desire is to feel spacious, clear, fresh new energy, so that this new thing, this new life experience that I'm desiring has space and room to come in. Get connected to why you're doing this. What is your desire? Then make it pleasurable. I can't remember if I put music on or a really interesting podcast. And to those things, that makes it pleasurable to me. The other thing I know about myself is I know that if it's going to take me too long, that's another barrier. So what I do is I set the timer on my iPhone for, let's say, half an hour. And that is, I am going to clear and declutter for 30 minutes as much as I can, but with this joyful podcast. Now, oftentimes I get finished before or just after that little bell goes off. And sometimes if I need more time, I'm so into it and I see I only have this much left to do that I'll keep going. But that's not a trick I'm doing to myself, because your brain is very smart. It knows when it's being tricked and it won't do it. So just say to yourself, look, whatever I get done in this 30 minutes is good enough for now. And I'll tell you, the pleasure, the space, the breathing space that you'll feel in there will really motivate you to do another space and another space. And one thing, I don't have it here, but that I really recommend is that you either get a sage spray or a sage burning, okay? And just sage in those areas and around you after you have cleared out that space, so that it is real, fresh, brand new energy. It's profound how just clearing one drawer or two side cupboards can make you feel. All right. Oh, what's your most favorite part of your curated life? So on my Instagram, I had a post and said something about you being the curator of your life. Basically, you create it. You design it. Don't let anybody tell you what you can do, what you can't do. You make a choice as to whether you stay in a job you hate or whether you start investigating, getting curious, taking little workshops, courses, classes on things that excite you. You do that. You create your life. And so someone's asking me, what's your most favorite part of your curated life? Love this question, and thanks for asking. I thought about this just a little bit before I started filming. And you know, the first thing that popped in my head was something that I've been extremely grateful for the last week. I am so thankful to myself for doing the inner work and making the conscious choices over and over and over again, sometimes when it's not easy, to curate a life where I love what I do. I jump out of bed in the morning, excited for what I do for work. I feel creative in my work. I feel like I'm giving such service through what I do. I receive abundance from what I do. I feel valued and appreciated for what I do. And it's on my own time schedule. That is the thing for me, because one of my very top priority or value in life is health. The second one is freedom. And I'll tell you, for a point in time when I was a school teacher, I was surprised that I got a paycheck because I just loved being of service so much to those kids. But I'll tell you something, it wore me down, and it built up such anger and resentment when those bells would go off. You know, I'm enjoying a cup of tea with one of the teachers in the staff room, and we're in such a beautiful talk, and like ding, and then you gotta go, you know, or you can't eat your lunch because you've got to go out and supervise, ding, or you're not allowed to leave the school before this time. I was so constricted, and for some people that will work very well, but after a period of time, I was just dreaming of creating a life that I could make my own schedule. And there was a time when I didn't allow myself to curate a life of time freedom. If I don't want to have clients on a day, I don't book it. If I totally choose how I want each quarter of the year to go. And I never gave myself permission. I kind of felt like, well, if other women are busy, then I should be busy too. And I got to a point where I had to say, Erin, you didn't do this business to be busy. You did this to give yourself freedom. And by you giving yourself permission to create your own life exactly as you want, you're giving other women permission and the ability to realize that it's possible. So I made that choice to give myself even more time to do things in a way that would serve what I wanted my life to look and feel like. So it doesn't happen by accident. It is truly, truly a curated life. And I'll tell you something, it takes you risking sometimes. To give up my teaching career when I was at the top. I was at the top school, making the top amount of money, and I just would have kept getting more and more and more. And I let it all go. So, and there's multiple times I've had to make real decisions, but I'll tell you something, and I'll leave you with this. Whenever you follow your joy and you make choices towards your joy, you will always, always, always be supported. So keep that as your little going away tidbit from this. Thank you so much for these gorgeous questions. Keep them coming because I can't do the tea time with Erin's without any questions. So please send them privately again at this email address or put them in the comments below. That's even easier, okay? I'll probably see them quicker. So make it an elegant week, ladies. And I will see you next week.